that's gone. I mean, they're still around. You just need to put down a larger down payment. Do you know what I mean? So if you want more cash flow, you got to put more cash down. But if you're just looking for like the whole world caught on to the whole how much money landlords were making. So this idea that you can just steal a house and start instantly cash flowing on it is crazy. 20% down isn't going to get you there anymore because there's just too many investors out there buying houses. So you can still cash flow on a property. You just have to put more money down. Or stop focusing on cash flow and focus on the equity that you're making. Like, guys, the true value of being a real estate investor is pretty simple. You own a house that's gaining equity and the renter is paying for it. Like, if you cash flow on top of that, that's fine, but that's not the goal. That's greed. If you guys are getting messages from people, it's not me. I don't ever message any of you. Guys, I don't ever message anybody. I've never messaged any of you ever. I'm not going to start selling you crypto today. Like, it's clearly fake. Just stop being gullible, guys. Come on. Or go to the account. Does the account have 400,000 followers? No, then it's not me. Like, it's not, you know, it's pretty obvious it's not me. I'm not going to message you about crypto. I've had my house for 5 years and now I have 100K in equity. I'm ready to upgrade. Dash, let us know how you want to upgrade. We can help you live on the podcast. Nav says, I'm 26. I make 130K a year as a garbage man. Good for you. I live with my parents and I have 50K cash. What should I do? Nav. Okay, Nav, hold on. Let me move all this crap aside, Nav. Nav, you are currently doing what I advise every young person in America to do. You are working a job that pays good money immediately. It's hard labor, which means all these lazy suckers don't want to do it. You're making good money. You didn't move out of your parents' house so that you could shack up with some lazy trollop. You did everything the right way, Nav. Now, Nav, here's how you capitalize on your good decisions. You have enough money for a sizable down payment. What you want to do, Nav, is you want to speak to a mortgage lender. I have one sitting here across from me. You want to get yourself pre-approved, see what you can afford. Then we see what's affordable in your area. You don't have to start with a house unless maybe a house is in your budget. Maybe you start with a townhome or something, right? But Nav, you have put yourself in a really, really good position, and it's time for you to capitalize on it. You're 26. That's a young enough age that by the time you're 30, you can have a house with some serious equity in it, and you can really kick off your 30s in the right way. So Nav, do me a favor. My mortgage broker, Bill Gaylord, is literally sitting right here across from me. If you don't feel comfortable, he's right here, Nav. Like, literally, let me flip the camera around, Nav. He's literally right here. Look at him, all smart and handsome. And doesn't he look like somebody who knows what to do with money? Like, right here, okay? So, Nav, what I'm going to do is, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you, Brandon. I live in Illinois. Bill, what states do you work?
All 50 states.
Nav, he works all 50 states. So, Nav, you can either DM me directly and I'll connect you with him, or you can go to billgaylord.com and just set up a meeting with him. But Nav, you 100% should. It's a completely free service. It costs you nothing, and you've put yourself in a really good position that you need to take advantage of it. Okay?
100%.
Who do we got on here? B Savvy. Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? I hope you guys like your place. Hi, B. B, do me a favor. I need to send you over I forgot to send you my Zillow and Google reviews. I need you guys to leave me a review. I completely forgot to send those to you after we closed. What are the rates for P&I loans, P&L or P&I loans? 80% loan to value. So you're asking, what are the rates for investment loans? Okay, Bill, let's answer this question for them. I'm going to flip the camera around. Bill, what are the current rates for investment loans?
So investment loans, if it's a conventional, normally 25% down is best on a conventional mortgage on an investment property. And those rates are about 3/8 to 0.5% higher than the typical conventional rate. So if rates were 6% now on a regular primary, they'd be at 6.5% on an investment property. If it's a bank statement loan, self-employed DSCR, then you're going to add probably another 1% to that.
Guys, I'm telling you, we're doing the smartest real estate podcast out there. We are for the past year and a half, 2 years, we've been doing the smartest real estate podcast out there. We've got tons of information for you guys. Today, we are going to be going over the big mistakes that buyers make. And it's important that you guys hear this stuff so that you can stop making the same mistakes. So we're sitting here. Bill and I actually did a night class on this. So we're going to be giving you guys the live podcast version of our night class. All right. So to give you guys a little bit of heads up, our 5 biggest mistakes that people make are caring about the interest rates, but not caring about the equity. Huge mistake. Trying to time the market instead of time on the market. Huge mistake. Not utilizing your equity. Huge mistake. Waiting for other people to tell you it's a good time to buy. Huge mistake. And finally, our 5th and final one is caring more about the HOA than they care about making money. Huge mistake. My husband is a service-connected 90% veteran. We're looking at a veterans assumable mortgage. Well, I have a VA mortgage specialist here if you would like to ask him any questions. We specialize in VA loans here, so if you have any questions, ask us. We got you. Are we ready to roll?
Yeah.
All right, guys, get ready. The podcast is getting started now. Bill, to make this easy, can you think of a bigger mistake people make than those 5? Timing the market.
I call DIY your credit.
Okay. Trying to DIY your credit. Not using equity. Caring more about rates than equity. And finally, why am I blanking out? We just had our 5th one. Timing the market. No. Oh, yeah, waiting for others to tell you to buy. Waiting for the club to get busy,
The herd.
before you talk to girls.
I don't know what's wrong with this. But we're rolling on those cameras.
We're rolling?
Yeah.
All right, guys, get ready. Today, we are going over the top 5 mistakes that buyers make in America right now. All right? My mind makes some of the best men ever going to try. You just need to do it as soon as possible. People DM me to try their food all the time. It's so strange. I'm like, do you not see me going to the gym every morning? I can't eat banana bread. I'm going to die, guys. I'm going to die.
Banana bread is so good.
All right, let's rock and roll.
All right, this is rolling. Bill, there's your camera.
Okay.
And whenever you're ready, Brando.
What's going on, you guys? My name is Brandon from Vegas, and welcome back to Won't You Be My Neighbor, the real estate podcast. As always, we are here with my partner, Bill Gaylord. How you doing, Bill?
I am doing awesome.
I'm thinking about changing the name of the podcast to You're Going to Die a Renter, because I just think that I tried to be friendly, right? When we first started teaching real estate, I said, these people, all they need is a friendly hand. And I realized that doesn't work. Most of these people grew up with their moms who've been babying them and softening them, and everybody told them that everything was okay and holding their hand. And then I realized these people don't need a soft mama. They need angry dad Brandon to kick their teeth in. So I think we're going to change it to so instead of being like my smiling face, it's just going to be like, you're going to die a renter, because it's true, guys. All right.
I think Robert likes that. You like that, Robert?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, here are the top 5 things. Matter of fact, that's the name of today's episode. The 5 things you're doing that are going to make you die a renter. The 5 reasons you're going to die a renter. So here we go. Angry unk mode activated. Well, when you use the word unk, it makes me angry because that means you're a 27-year-old dude talking like an 8-year-old on TikTok. So that makes me angry too. You guys need a better vocabulary. If you talk the same way 8-year-olds do, the problem isn't with the 8-year-olds. The problem is with you. Okay? So, Bill, here we go. The top 5 reasons most Americans are going to die a renter. Number 1, timing the market. Oh my God, how many smart people out there are like, I'm going to time the market. I'm going to sell low and I'm going to buy high. If it was that easy, why are you not a billionaire? Why is your stock portfolio not at $1 billion? If it was that easy to just buy at the highest or buy at the lowest, sell at the highest, why wouldn't everybody do it? And the answer, Bill, is we don't have the information.
You can't time the market.
You
It's
can't.
almost impossible. And there was a study done on Wall Street where they took a 30-year time period and they said if you missed the 10 best days on the market, your rate of return was reduced by 50%.
Yes.
If you missed the 20 best days on the market in a 30-year time period, you earned 75% less.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. It's
can't.
time on the market, not timing the market.
Do you know who can time the market? Politicians, very wealthy people who have direct. Okay, when information comes out, Bill, so when the rate's going to change, there's people inside the Fed who know the rate's going to change, right? And they leak it out to their high-level investment bankers. Are any of you high-level investment bankers? No? Okay. Then the high-level bankers, Bank of America, Chase, all these people at the very top, they leak it out to their wealthiest clients, the Bill Gates of the world, the Jeff Bezos of the world. Are you one of these people? No. Those people leak it out to their friends and family. Are your family members billionaires? No. Okay. Those people leak it out to people who pay them for information, right? These big networking groups that pay for this information. If you're not in those 5 groups, you're not going to get the information until it's too late. That's why politicians can hit 75% on the stock market. They're getting the information from the source. You're not getting it until it's posted online. And by then, in the world of illegal, we call that getting stepped on. Okay? In the drug world, we call it getting stepped on, right? The drugs come from Colombia. By the time they get to Vegas, they've been stepped on multiple times, okay? Well, in the information world, information gets stepped on because by the time it gets to you, it's been filtered, it's been altered, it's been delayed. That way, rich people have the time to utilize the information before passing it on to you, right? So timing the market, Bill, is impossible. You don't have the information.
You can't. And then the other thing that I want to say is that so many buyers look like, I call it myopic.
Yeah.
They look at right here and now.
Yep.
What is today?
Yep.
And they don't look, well, what's going to happen in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? If someone's looking to buy a property today, they can't expect to make a big return in 1 year.
No.
In 2 years.
No.
They have to really look at this as a long-term investment.
Yep.
And it's got to be at least, in my opinion, 7 to 10 years. And that's typical right now.
I tell young guys, buying is like a relationship, right? The good stuff is hard to get, right? The best houses, the best partners, they're hard to get. And they actually don't start rewarding you. Your first 6 or 7 dates with a 10 out of 10, it's going to be hard, right? You gotta take her on dates. You got to get to know her. You got to wine and dine her. You got to romance her, right? She has expectations because she's high quality. You can't expect immediate satisfaction, right? This isn't the girl that you meet at the bar at 2 a.m. who gives you the instant satisfaction, right? This is a long-term play. But much like relationships, houses are a long-term benefit, right? You start to see the benefits over time, 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. When other people are 31 and still on Hinge looking for dates online, you're the one who's like, no, I've been married to my wife for 7 years. We've got a great relationship. The kids are happy. Life is good, right? You may not see the benefits immediately. Your single friends are out there going to clubs, telling you, oh, man, I met this new girl. Oh, it's so sick, right? Those are immediate rewards. That's like a rental property. It's an immediate reward. But like Bill says, guys, this is a 5-10-year plan where there's some people who bought a house in 2019 and by 2021, they were up 120 grand. Sure. But that's a fluke. That's COVID inflating trillions of dollars into a market that shouldn't have been there. That's a fluke,
Yeah.
right? You can't expect things like that all the time.
So I want to also bring it back to, if you buy the house, don't even care what the value is. Live in the house, enjoy the house, and have fun in the house, because that's what a house is actually
Yep.
for, family and fun and enjoyment. But if you look at the history, you go back to the 1940s, there was another study done, right? They did rolling 10 years of appreciation in a home.
Mhm.
And they took every year from like 1942 to the present. And every rolling 10 years, real estate made money.
Yep.
It made money every 10 years,
Yep.
with the exception of one.
What's that?
And it was in the year 2000, I think it was 2006 or 2007. I think it was
Anomaly,
2006.
though. Anomaly.
Complete
Complete
anomaly.
Complete
But if
anomaly.
you held it for 15 years, then you made out like a huge bandit, because
Dude,
it's time in the market, not timing.
I
the
get
market.
so much trouble for this online, but I say, if your parents just didn't sell their houses during the real estate attack,
Oh.
they would have just bounced back, right? No one was forcing. We were underwater. Well, I mean,
Only
you-
in their head.
only in your head. Could you have made the payments? Okay, so look. If I buy a house for $500,000 and tomorrow you tell me it's worth $200,000, okay, I could still make the payments. Yeah, okay. Well, then I'll just sit here until it's worth $500,000 again. Just because you tell me it's worth something doesn't mean I have to sell, right? Doesn't mean I have to sell it, right?
No.
I always bring it back to a nightclub. You can go to a nightclub and you could talk to a girl and you can say, "Hi, sweetheart, I think I'm attractive enough to date you." And she could be like, "Well, no, I actually disagree with you. I don't think my price is that," right? You could tell her what her price is, but she always gets to have the option of rejecting you. And houses are the same way, right? You as the homeowner, you're the hot girl. I can always just reject your offer. I'll just keep my house at this value,
Yeah.
right? So number one mistake people make, the number one mistake is trying to time the market. The best time to buy a house was yesterday. The next best time is today. I will repeat that until the end of my days. If you're trying to find the best time to buy a house, the answer was yesterday. The next best time is today. All right. Number two, Bill, I'm going to let you take this one because this is right up your alley. The number two worst thing that buyers do is trying to do their credit themselves. DIY credit. Bill, can you tell them why this is an issue?
Yeah, do it yourself credit. People are like, I hear it every single day. I got to improve my credit before I go apply for a mortgage. I got to figure out, I got to pay this off. I got to close this out. I got to do this. I got to do that. So they go to a credit repair and they think that their credit repair is going to fix all their problems. I can tell you from experience, 33 years in this
33
business,
years,
right?
baby.
And I can tell you that many times those credit repair companies, they're freaking extracting money from you every single month, telling you we're going to dispute this and dispute that and
Yep.
do all this stuff. And they're just grabbing your money every single month. And they put you on this long-term plan and it never goes away. And then the other thing though, is that if you do it yourself, they don't always know what to do.
Yes.
It's very difficult because we
Yeah.
want to get you mortgage ready. We want to get
Yep.
your credit report mortgage ready.
Yep.
And sometimes you don't need anything done to your credit. It's a simple fix.
Yeah.
And if you like pay a collection off, that actually acts as a recent problem. Sometimes not paying your collections off is better than paying your collections off.
There's nothing
So-
that makes me sadder than when someone reaches out to me and goes, "Oh, I would have had the down payment, but I had to pay off these $5,000 medical bills." And I have to be the person that tells them, none of us give a shit about the medical bills. Nobody in real estate cares about your medical bills because we know what you don't know. Those numbers are fraudulent. I need you guys to understand this.
You
Like,
do not have to pay off medical collections.
can you repeat it louder
You
for
do
me, Bill?
not have to pay off medical collections to qualify for a mortgage. We do not count those. A
We don't-
regular collection may be something different. Medical collections do not count.
We do not care about your medical collections in the real estate world. You guys rushing to pay those things off instead of using it for. Yes, Tammy, really. You see my license number right here on the screen. Sitting across from me is a man who's been in real estate for over 40 years. We wouldn't just come on here and lie to you. My license is worth more than that. We're telling you the truth. We don't give a shit about your medical bills. We don't. So don't run out there to pay those. We don't care. We don't care. We really don't. Yeah. Because here's the thing. Okay. So I have asthma. So in 2015, I had an asthma attack, and just for giving me albuterol, they tried to charge me like $2,500. Like it was a medical emergency. Dude, I called the company because they had sent it to some credit, and I said, look, I have an inhaler in my pocket that's $12. They charged me $2,500. I said, I don't have $2,500 to give you. And they were like, well, what do you have? I said, I got $198 on my debit card right now. I'll give you that. And they were like, sure, send it our way. That's it. My medical bills went from $2,500 down to $198. I probably could have gotten it lower because everybody knows these medical bills are fraudulent. They're fraudulent because they know you guys won't fight them and dispute them. We don't care about medical bills over here. Okay.
And then also even with collections, if you have collections that are under $2,000,
yep,
you don't have to pay them off to qualify for a mortgage.
Yep. Banda Wyatt says, what is the standard credit score? Let me stop you here. One of the big mistakes that you guys make is thinking that there's a standard home price, a standard credit score. There's no such thing as standard. Okay. What there is there's loans from FHA loan to conventional to VA, and they have credit minimums. So if you want to know what the credit minimum is, Bill, lay it on them.
Conventional just removed their credit minimum.
Did they?
They did. FHA credit minimum is 500. And a VA, there is no credit minimum.
Okay. And that's Bill's version because Bill is a lender and he's giving you the exact numbers.
You got to have some compelling reason why you have a low score to get a mortgage,
yes.
though.
Here is what a realtor is going to tell you guys about credit. 640 credit unless you're a veteran. If you're a veteran, I'm not really concerned about your credit. I just need to make sure that you make enough income. But for everybody else who's not a veteran, 640 is what we want to see.
And I will tell you that that's Brandon's requirement. My requirement is the FHA typically had basically a guideline of 580 as a credit score. Conventional was 620. It just depends on what your situation is.
Oh, I think we accidentally got somebody in here. My bad. That was an accident. We accidentally connected with somebody.
And so if you are at 580 and above, you got to take a look and see what the issues are with it and whether or not you can qualify. But they are becoming more and more lenient on credit.
They are. Someone said lots of lenders have overlays for credit scores on VA.
That you're 100% correct. And if you get turned down by a lender that is saying you don't qualify because of your credit score, go to a different lender that goes to the flat out VA guidelines that don't have that credit score overlay.
Yeah. Joseph 64 says, what are young kids that have no family to live with supposed to do making $2,000 to $3,000 a month? Joseph, you asked this question because you want me to pity you. But if you've ever been on my channel before, you need to understand something. I was making less than you, and no one pitied me because pity is not going to get you anywhere. So, Joseph, I'm going to answer your question. And to anybody watching who's struggling, I'm going to answer your question. There's no point in being broke and single. If you're only making $3,000 a month and you can find somebody else making $3,000 a month and you guys can turn that into $6,000 a month, well, congratulations. You're doing better. Joseph, if you don't feel like putting in the effort to become a better partner, then let me give you some more advice. Okay? Here we go. The reason you're making the money that you're making is because you don't have the skills that are worth more money. You either don't have the skills or you're not utilizing the skills you have in the right way. That's it. That's the answer. I know you don't like the answer. I know you want me to make excuses for you, but you guys are grown ass women and men, and we don't do excuses here. Read a book, take a class, stop spending money on parties and drugs and alcohol. Spend the money learning how to use AI, learning how to digitally market, learning how to create content, learning how to film. Take a photography class and become a wedding photographer. Take a videography class and become a wedding videographer. People pay good money for these things. But if you're not going to learn new skills, you can't be upset when you don't make more money. You are not worth more money at this time. I know that sucks to hear, and I'm sorry, but we all had to be there at some point, and we all had to grow up, okay? So, Bill, trying to fix your credit, trying to fix your debt, huge mistake. If they want to, guys, just call Bill.
Go to billgaylord.com. We'll go through it. We'll get a soft pull credit report so I can look at it. I've seen thousands, about 10,000 plus credit reports. I know enough to be dangerous, and whether or not you actually need credit repair or if there's a quick fix.
Yeah. Number 3, not using equity. Oh my God. If I get one more call from somebody who's like, oh yeah, my house is paid off, I've just been sitting in it. You're just sitting on a bunch of money? What are you doing? That's like telling me you have $1 million in the bank, but you have no investments. Like, okay, so Bill Gates has a bunch of money in the bank, but he also has a bunch of investments, right? So he has money making money for him. Guys, the money in the bank is just like safety money. That's just to keep you safe in case of an emergency. Your money should be making money for you. And the equity in your house is money. If you have equity in your house, you need to contact someone like Bill. Bill, I call you. I say, Bill, I think I have a lot of equity in my house. I bought it 6-7 years ago. And in California, I think I'm up a lot of money. My neighbors just sold for a lot of money. Bill, what's the process for finding out how much equity is in your house?
So we have a tool that basically estimates the value of the house on a preliminary basis to kind of see how much equity or how much money they have in their house available for another type of investment. And I have people come to me all the time. I want to buy an investment property. My house, I owe $250,000 and my house is worth $600,000. Can I buy an investment property? Well, yes, you can. You can do what's called a home equity loan and pull that money out to use as a down payment on an investment property if you want. So you can do it that way. You can do a cash out refinance. There's different ways to utilize the money or the equity that you have in your house.
100%. And for those of you watching, one of the simplest ways to utilize your equity is taking the equity out, using it as the down payment on a second home, then using the cash flow from that second home to pay off the HELOC. Congratulations. You now have 2 homes gaining equity with no additional money out of your pocket. That's 2 homes gaining equity, and you're not paying for one of them. That is huge. Imagine if someone said, hey, here's a business that you don't have to pay for. All you have to do is collect the money. Think of it in that perspective, and it makes a lot more sense, right? Are land trust properties worth it? I mean, worth is such a subjective term. Is it worth it to you? Then go for it. Worth is completely subjective, and Bill and I are not here to discuss worth. We are here to discuss just facts of the matter of real estate, okay? So, Bill, perfect example. Had this woman bought in California right after the crash. So she bought her house 2011. 2011, when the average home price in Los Angeles was $300,000. And I said, ma'am, do you understand the average home price for your house is currently $900,000? And she goes, oh, really? I hadn't checked. And I said, ma'am, you're sitting on $600,000. Have you ever wanted to start a business, like a food truck or something? You have the money sitting right there. Have you ever wanted to invest in something? You have the money sitting right there. Would you like to buy a second property in Los Angeles? Like, ma'am, you could take $300,000 out of your house and the bank wouldn't even blink. So they wouldn't even blink at that, right?
Yeah.
And she had no clue. And there's a lot of people around America right now who are in that situation.
Perfect example too. Someone in San Diego, friend of ours, they owe like $400,000 on their house.
Uh-huh.
Their house is now worth, they bought it for like 700,000.
Mhm.
The house is now worth 1.8 million. Okay. Right now, they are
Oh.
like struggling, retired, trying to pay their bills, pay the taxes, California, all the stuff that goes on there, all that kind of stuff. They could sell that house, pay cash for a house in Las Vegas,
Mhm.
and have probably $500,000 left over in the bank as retirement funds for them. So a lot of people are sitting on just a mountain of equity, a mountain of cash that they just could utilize it and have a better life if they utilize it correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't realize it, or they just, there's this fear. There's this fear when it comes to real estate. I'm telling you, man, the housing attack did such a number on the psychology of so many people. They're so afraid, just living, they're sitting. That's why they're sitting in these rentals dying. They're dying of fear, man.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And I think that 2007, it was PTSD at that time because their parents went through it. They had short sales, they had foreclosures.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. The real estate market isn't safe.
Yeah.
But if you look at the long run, right? And that's the thing is you look over that 84-year period and it's like 77, 6-1 over that time period in terms of a winning record.
They don't care, Bill. All the numbers and the stats and the data don't work against emotion.
Emotion is what buys.
We no longer live in a logic, fact, science culture. We live in an emotional culture, which is why we call this, you're going to fucking die a renter, because I need to hit that emotional core where it's like, okay, you guys are currently sitting between two fears, the fear of dying a renter and the fear of learning new information. And for some reason, the fear of dying a renter isn't as strong as the fear of just learning new information. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Hey, Salvador, do me a favor. Be on them. Just block. Don't even mute them. Just block anybody who's distracting the class. Just instant mute. We're not giving anybody second chances today. Okay? So, Bill, number 4. And this is my number 1 pet peeve, is thinking that paying rent is the same as paying a mortgage. Robert, get the TikTok camera ready. Get the TikTok camera ready. Angry Dad Brandon is going to come out. I apologize in advance for this. You dumbasses will go to a restaurant and check a $50 food receipt and ask for an itemized receipt. And you'll go through every line of a $50 restaurant bill to make sure that you're not being overcharged. But when I ask you, have you ever gotten an itemized receipt for your $2,000 rent? You look at me and go, why would I do that? Why would I do that? Because if you did, you would see you're already paying the insurance. You're already paying the property taxes. You're paying for the home warranty. Those repairs weren't free. And not only are you paying for all of these things, you're paying $500 more than the mortgage so that landlord can take the vacations that you dream about. You'll check an itemized receipt at a restaurant, but not your rent. And that is why you're going to die a renter. That's why you're going to die a renter, because you guys care about the stupidest shit. But when it comes to serious, real life, being an adult thing, you guys could care less. I just auto pay my rent. Okay, start auto paying your bill at restaurants then. Start auto paying your bill at restaurants. Don't even look at it. Just sign your life away since you don't care about your own money. I'll watch 4 girls argue over who drank more wine when they split their bill at Toca Madera. But those 4 girls will go to their luxury apartments paying $2,300 a month, and they won't question the bill one time. That's how brainwashed people have become into just paying their rent. Good little slave, good little serf, good little peasant, good little whipping boy. I'll check my receipt for $27 at Chipotle, but I won't ever question rent. That's crazy, Bill. That's crazy.
That was good. Angry Brandon came out. And I think it's unfortunate because really, if you look at, and I know the statistics and this and that, and I'm kind of that math nerd, if you will, but homeowners have 44 times the net worth of a renter. In other words, homeowners have, on average, about $440,000 in net worth. A renter has $6,000. Okay.
Repeat that again, Bill.
It's obnoxious.
Repeat that again, Bill. Repeat that again. My head hurts.
Your head hurts.
Repeat that again.
So a homeowner has upwards of $400,000 of net worth on average, and a renter has about $6,000. Now, renters, and when I see people say it's better to rent because the rent is less, and it's never. You want to be able to place your money in something that is bigger than what you're doing. And that is going to allow you to excel and succeed and get bigger. Rent will go up. It always goes up. And your mortgage payment, when you get a mortgage payment and you've paid it for 10 years, that mortgage payment is the same for 10 years. Guess what happens to the rent? More than likely, at least in probably year 6, 7, your rent's going to be higher than your mortgage payment. And that's where the time.
Property tax and insurance.
Nothing gets me more infuriated. Renters are like, well, at least I'm not paying
HOA.
property tax. Renters, you know how dumb you are? Not only are you paying the property taxes, not only are you paying the insurance, but you're so dumb that your landlord got you to pay renter's insurance on top of that. You're paying renter's insurance on top of paying for the house's insurance, on top of paying for the house's property tax, because you're a dumb renter. And that's how little your landlord thinks of you, that he got you to pay the insurance twice because you're a renter and no one cares about you. And you literally exist so we can farm money from your pockets. You go to work and work an 8-hour shift for a boss that hates you, just to take that hard-earned money and give it to your landlord who also hates you. That's your life right now. And I'm telling you this because I want it to hurt. Because right now, you're sitting in your shitty rental, afraid, and the pain of fear is keeping you trapped in. Okay, here's something more painful. You're a loser. And everyone around you is taking advantage of you because they know you're a loser and you won't ever do anything to stop it. That's the truth. I hope that hurts. I hope that cuts somewhere deep inside of you because that's who and what you are.
Grandfather Bill over here, can I just say that's the truth? The reality is that you hear about people say, pay a lower rent and invest the difference between what a normal mortgage payment would be and the rent. People cannot save money. Yeah, I mean, you've talked about it. It's just difficult. So what ends up happening is when you buy a house, your mortgage payment, yes, many times it's going to be higher than the rent.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is a portion of that goes to pay down your mortgage. You're basically getting into this forced savings. 401k is an example. They take it, they don't see the money. So the money keeps going into this account that grows.
Yep.
The house is the same way. If they pay the mortgage and they don't see the money come out, that house is going to continue to grow, not only because you reduce the mortgage, paying it down, but you have appreciation.
Bill,
It's impossible to do this.
People keep saying I'm paying so much in interest over the life of the loan, but I'm like, rent is 100% interest.
that's my favorite thing. Oh, I'm paying interest. Okay. When you take $2,000 a month and hand it to your landlord, does he ever give you money back? No. That means you're paying 100% interest for that rental. Your money isn't leading anywhere. You're just going to pay. And then they're going to raise the rent. And then you're going to pay. Okay. My favorite is the guy who's like, bro, it's always a bro. with the money I save, the $800 a month I save on my rent, I can invest it. Okay. Let's go to magical.
Let's go to the
Let's
math.
go to
I wanna
magic.
go to the math.
Let's go to magical fairyland. $800 a month times 12 months is $9,600. I know that because I'm really good at my times tables. Okay. Let's round up for them, Bill. Let's give them $10,000. Let's say they put that in the highest earning per average fund, which is the S&P 500. It grows at about 10 to 11% per year. Okay. Let's
Give 'em 12.
Let's give them 12%. So you saved $10,000 and you put it into the S&P 500 at 12%. Congratulations on your $1,200 a year. Meanwhile, my 5% equity on a $500,000 house returned me $25,000. Congrats on your 1,200. Sick 1,200, bruh. Congrats on that. Well, what about Bitcoin? Hey guys, I own Bitcoin. I'm now down like $50,000. I just checked it today. I was at $83,000 in Bitcoin. Just checked today. I got like 35 grand. Bitcoin doesn't seem as stable as my house.
No, it's
Bill,
not.
as Bitcoin has dropped, the value of my house has kept going up. So
And you get to live in it.
you're not talking to an anti-Bitcoin, anti-stocks person. I own NVIDIA. I own Tesla. I own Microsoft. I invest in
You
the
invest in
S&P
these good-
500. I invest. My house is dwarfing all of my investments.
I'm going to give you another. So Lawrence Yun, who's the chief economist at
Yeah.
the National Association of Realtors, came out and said the interest rates have dropped about 1% from 7% to 6% this year, which brings in about 5.5 million borrowers
Mhm.
into the marketplace,
Mhm.
right? Potential buyers. They're not all going to jump in.
Sure.
He believes that there will be about 10% of them that will actually come in and buy a house.
Yep.
It's 550,000 potential new buyers that are going to come in nationally. What does that do to values of real estate? It props up the real estate values because you have more demand and the supply will start to come down. And this is a great time to buy because sellers are giving their money away
Guys,
when they sell their house. They're
let's just give-
giving equity.
Bill, let's just give them an obvious thing. Let's just give them something obvious. America currently holds 20 to 25% of the world's immigrants. 20 to 25%, millions of people, all of them who want houses, all of them who are competing with you for land and houses and rent, right? In what world do you think your rent's going to get cheaper in your house? That doesn't, we have too many people for any of this to ever get cheaper. Now, Bill, let's take on two more people. We have two people, then we'll move on to number 5 because
Okay.
rent triggers people into saying really dumb stuff. So the first person is this woman, Kay, who says renting isn't a sin. The mentality to rent forever, though, isn't smart financially. Wrong. Rent is usury. I am literally taking money from you and charging you 100% interest for something. Rent is like student loans. It traps young people in debt forever. Renting is terrible. You saying renting isn't a sin, trying to defend it and justify it, is wrong. You shouldn't have to rent. If you have to rent, that means there's too many people and people are making really bad decisions. Period. End of story. Look at the 1920s, the 1930s, the 1940s. Look how few renters we had in America. Would you like to know why? We had much fewer people and people made better decisions. Simple and plain. Okay. The next person said, let's see. Renting brings out the dumb in people, man. Would you agree some areas are better to rent than buy? No, it is never, no matter the area, no matter the city, no matter the state, no matter the day, no matter the time, no matter the season, it is never better to rent than buy. Rent has become a necessary evil because of the way we live our lives. It's a necessary evil because we make bad decisions and bad choices. Rent is never good. It is 100% bad all the time. Stop confusing a necessary evil for something positive. That's not good. Think about war or guns or a military. You don't want people to actually die. It's just a necessary evil to protect you from bad people. You don't want it to happen. It's just something that exists because people can't stop committing crimes. Rent is like war. You don't want it. It's something that's forced upon you because people make bad decisions. I'm getting angrier as I talk.
So what you're saying is life is choice. And
Life
there's-
is choice.
And it's a matter
Yes.
of what you choose, whether you're in an area that may seem like rent is out of control and out of
Move.
touch, and the houses move.
Move.
Get a different.
Oh, well, Brandon, I can't afford to rent in Orange County. Then move out of Orange County. Oh, but I like the weather. Then rent in Orange County. So you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You're an asshole.
We got 200,000 condos here, $200,000 condos here.
We saw a condo for $144,000
It's crazy.
yesterday on Las Vegas Pitch. $144,000 condo, 1 bedroom.
I've got a 2-bedroom fully remodeled condo 5 minutes from the airport, $235,000.
Yeah.
I've got a 2-bedroom condo right off of Henderson on Boulder and Russell, $180,000. The down payment on $180,000, Bill, is $1,800 times 3. So what are we looking at? $5,400. $5,400. You can own your own condo.
That's
They
first
choose to
month's
rent. They choose to
security
rent.
deposit, last month's rent.
Yeah, they choose to rent. They choose. And I'm tired. Like, look, I will teach and help anybody. I know I come off like an asshole, and that's fine. But this asshole spends 5 hours a week, every week for 5 years, trying to help everybody that I can. But I learned you can't help these people holding their hand. You got to kick their teeth in, man. They need to know they have become losers and they have made loser choices. And you can't babysit loser. You have to beat the loser out of people, man.
Well, I do want to say everybody can do it, but they have to make the choice to do it.
I was the biggest loser in the world, Bill. We've talked about this a million times. I had a credit score. I hadn't used a credit card in 10 years. Not bad credit. I hadn't used one in 10 years. I was homeless. I was living in a $500 studio with junkies and prostitutes, and I was completely destitute. I was a bigger loser than anybody you know. And now I'm here teaching people real estate because all you have to do is start making good decisions. That's it. That's why I'm hard on these people, because I know they aren't where they are right now isn't worse than where I was at. And if I can dig myself out of that situation, they can too. Okay. All right, Bill, number 5, because number four got my
covered that one.
blood boiling. Do you want me to put it in the Bill way or the Brandon way?
I think Brandon is much more powerful. Bill is too, kind of easy wheezy. It's
Bill's
not that
too nice to you guys.
nice.
Bill really likes you guys. You
I
guys,
do.
you guys don't know how lucky you are to have Bill here. Bill does not need to waste his time. You guys should be so thankful that Bill is willing to sit here and deal with our nonsense for an hour a day. Okay. Number 5, waiting for the club to get busy before you talk to girls. Okay. What that means is all of you are sitting around waiting for someone to tell you that now's a good time to buy a house before you go buy a house. That's like going to a nightclub and waiting for 1,000 guys to show up before you talk to girls. Why are you waiting until your chances are lower before going to get what you want? If you need somebody else to be like, hey, now's the time to talk to girls, you probably shouldn't be going to the club, right? Like if your intention is to go to a bar or club to talk to girls, you don't need to wait for more guys to show up to talk to girls. You just talk to them when you have the chance. Real estate's the same way. Once everybody is comfortable buying houses, it's now a bad time to buy houses. I know that seems contradictory, but that's how the world works. Once your mom and your cousin and your sister and your friend Joni and your cousin-in-law, once they're comfortable buying houses, the market's screwed. That means we're in a seller's market and you're going to be buying at top dollar.
It's a shoe shine boy, right?
Shoe shine boy.
The shoe shine boy. But and my analogy is a little bit different, right? I use it.
I hope so.
There's the herd mentality, right? The difference between a cow and a buffalo. I talk about this all the time. The herd are the cows. When the storm comes in, they all look at the storm and try and run away from the storm, and they all run away from the storm, and they never get out of the storm. Right now,
They're too slow.
These renters are just like kind of waiting
Yep.
and running, trying. Oh, I don't want to buy a house, not everybody's gonna, and they want to wait till the storm passes. But when the storm passes, everybody's buying a house, and they're not going to have the opportunity to buy a house.
Yeah.
Right now, a buffalo basically gives the storm a middle finger and just runs right through the storm. And they're in and they're out. They
Yep.
say, I don't want to be in this storm. I'm going to get in right now, get out of this storm. So they bust through the storm so they can get out of it.
My favorite thing about your analogy is that cows don't know they're slow. Just like renters don't know that they're dying. Right? You because you have perspective, you look at a cow and you go, cow, you're too fat and slow to make it out of this storm. Why did you think you could run away from it? The cow doesn't know it's slow. The renter doesn't know that they're dying. They think I can. Bill, if renting really was cheaper, then why are renters so broke? And why do homeowners have so much money? Right? Like, one of my favorite things to ask people is this. If waiting was better, why didn't your landlord wait? You're paying money to someone who took action. If renting was so good, if waiting was so good, why is your landlord not waiting? Right?
And they don't have, I think people, they don't have to have that herd mentality. They have, if they can do their research, they find the people they trust, they figure out and they become self-educated, make a decision based on their own education, based on their own like review of data and all that kind of stuff. Go out and do it. Make it happen, because you can make it happen. You will make it happen. You make the choices to make it happen, and be that buffalo that breaks through before everybody else does it. You got to be
100%.
the buffalo.
Guys, those were the top 5 mistakes that keep people dying as renters. The top 5 reasons that you're going to die a renter. We're going to answer a few questions on social media. For the YouTube audience, we always want to leave them with a way to reach us. Bill, for anybody who watches this video and needs to reach you so that they don't die a renter,
please come to BillGaylord.com. You can go BillGaylord.com/meet. We can do a 15-minute, like, where are you at right now? And that's what you have to do. You have to find out where you stand right now to get to where you want to be. I have no judgment. It's just a game plan. I don't care if it's 3 months from now that you buy, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. I'm going to spend the time to help you actually get a plan together so you understand and get educated and make it happen, because we want you to make it happen.
and how much does it cost to contact you, Bill?
It's zero.
Free?
It's free.
$3.99?
$3.99.
Zip,
That's what it is.
zilch, nada,
nothing. Yeah.
nothing? It's
Nothing.
free.
Free.
It's free. All right.
BillGaylord.com.
Guys, I'm Brandon from Vegas. As always, you can find me by opening up any social media app, Zillow, Realtor, or just contact me directly below in my contact form and the information. I will talk to you directly. Me and Bill are both here to help you guys. Let's change the end of it. Let's just start it right now. You don't have to die a renter. We're here to help. Thank you guys for your time.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Social media. Social media.